Hello, my name is Renzer. I'd like to talk to you about something today.
Similarly, if anyone wants to move on the set, if anyone wants to meet, they can do that right now.
Enemy soldier down. Got him.
I'd like to welcome you to the big topic, muscle memory. But what is this exactly? We can refer to this topic as unconscious memory. It is the act of being able to do something without directly thinking about it. Every time you move using WSAD, crouch, sprint, or reload, or hit E, trying to exit your aircraft and then realizing you set it to a different button is muscle memory. Most gamers have no problems typing or doing whatever they want on their keyboard because they know by heart where what is. But to be able to pull off what the kiddies call 360 no-scope MLG swag shots, you need to practice your right-hand mouse memory. So, how do we do that? Well, in theory, it's quite simple, but it's the execution that's hard. What you have to do is mimic the same stuff you did to be able to type and press buttons freely without wondering where the reload key is or the crouch is. So, what makes you so good at typing? The fact that the keyboard and the key placement stayed the same for a long time. So the key is consistency. What you have to do is you have to make your mouse react in the same way always, and within time you will have the muscle memory. Now, how do we do that? Well, the first step will be to actually check if our mouse is up to par with what we want to do. Now, it's important to invest in a good mouse, and I'm using a gaming optical mouse. I've been using optical mice forever, and I'm just used to them. The laser sensor gives a different feel. If you like it, then it's cool, but I think that an optical mouse is the best thing you can have for FPS. Now, a problem with some mice is they tend to jitter when you move them very quickly. So what I mean by that, for example, if you move your mouse very quickly, the cursor might stop. So what I want you to check in game is just pop in game and do a swipe. By a swipe, I mean a quick move like this. Okay? If you swipe and your mouse jitters, for example, your character doesn't move, I mean, left or right, just stops, it means that your mouse sensor is just not up to par with what you want to do. And the best thing you can do to combat that is to make your sensitivity a lot higher. Increasing your sensitivity will help because the problem here is your sensor isn't good enough to track the speed of the movement. So by increasing the sensitivity, you will have to do shorter, less quick movements to do the same thing that we wanted to do. You won't have to swipe as quickly. Unfortunately, that's the best advice I can offer you. And the other one is just get a better mouse. But if you don't have a lot of money to spare, remember it's a game and I don't think it's worth it. Here's an example of me swiping. What I'm doing is imagining that there's a player behind me and I have to turn around very quickly to counterattack his backstab. Look at the consistency. I am sure that my mouse will not jitter and will perform the way I want it to perform each and every time. Okay, but let's imagine this happens. The first swipe you do is slow just to get your bearings, and then you do it quickly, and you notice that you move the same length on your mouse pad, but when you do a swipe slowly, it moves a set amount, and then you do it quickly, and it moves more for some reason, and you're absolutely sure that you're covering the same length. What is that? That is one of the biggest no-nos you can have when it comes to practicing. That is acceleration. So what is acceleration? If I remember correctly, there are two types of accelerations. There's positive and negative acceleration. Positive acceleration happens when you move your mouse very quickly, you move more, and negative, you do the same and you move less. Now, why does this happen? It's because of the quality of the sensor. Sometimes the sensors just go into WTF mode when you move too quickly. The other thing is some mice, actually I think most mice, can turn acceleration on. Some people use it. It's useful, for example, when you draw in gigantic resolutions. But we don't want that. So how do we combat that? Well, the first thing you can do Go into your settings and turn on raw mouse input. Raw mouse input takes the information of your movements directly from your mouse and omits any software issues. Now also turn off acceleration. I don't know which troll put that into the game, but in my opinion, it shouldn't even be there. Okay, so what now? The mouse doesn't jitter. There's no acceleration. How do I develop the skill? Well, technically, that's all you need to know. All you have to do now is practice, practice, practice. But this skill is a bit of a bitch. And why? Because, like I said before, consistency is the key. You have to keep everything like it is, or every time you change something, you'll have to reacquire this skill. Change your mouse? Here we go again. Change your mouse pad? There we go. Change your sensitivity a lot? See you later. Remember, before you commit any serious training to muscle memory on your mouse hand, you need to be at least more or less sure what sensitivity and what equipment you want to use. So let's talk about sensitivity for a moment. Just a moment, because there are many guides out there and I don't want to make a 10 or 20 minute long video just about sensitivity. Okay, so here's the mouse sensitivity I have in game. I just want you to focus only on the mouse sensitivity and the aim sensitivity, because that's the thing I worked with. Now, if you look at my videos, I mostly use a one-time scope, and that is because I want the experience of the way you move your mouse when you hip fire and when you ADS to be as similar as possible. Now, when you work with higher scopes, I think it's not big of a problem that you move in a different way, because at those distances you don't have to twitch, to be honest, or move very quickly. It's what I'm talking about in this video is more of a CQC to close mid thing. But you have to work with it. There's no such thing as the right sensitivity. There's definitely the wrong sensitivity. The wrong sensitivity is either way too high and you can be accurate, or way too low. Just look at your mouse, look at your mouse pad, find what fits you the most, and try to be on the lower end of fast. Not too fast is accurate. Don't be too fast, but don't be too slow too. So here's an example of something that you can do if you want to practice your muscle memory without going to the lifesaver. You can go into the VR training and do what I do. You can see here that I'm pretending that I have to twitch from one target to the other. This is actually the first time I'm doing this. This is a good example of how it's going to feel. It's how it's going to look the first time you try it as well. You will notice that you over or under drag a lot because your brain is not conditioned yet to move the right amount you want the mouse to move. Only by long and hard training will you be able to get very twitchy, very fast, and very accurate reflexes. I'm going to let this play out and talk from time to time, but I think you get the picture. The picture is practice, practice, practice. Now, do you have to do this? No, you don't. If you have all the things set, and if everything is ready, you can do this on live server. But if you want that extra boost, you can always, for the first 10-15 minutes when you get into the game, pop in here and practice this. Go slow at first. Be consistent with the movements. Try to feel the distance that you need to move. I'm doing this kind of hectically because I just want to put it into the video, but you get the point, okay? And by the way, I wanted to share one last thing with you. Always remember that this looks cool. Being able to twitch left and right quickly, go from head to head, kill from kill, is very professional-like. It looks awesome. But never forget that this is a fail-safe mechanism. This is a get-out-of-jail-free card. To be good, you need to be consistent in what you do in games. And twitching does not equal consistency. There's just too many things involved. You're always going to have a worse day or something else. But what you can always do is have positioning and crosshair placement. I want you to remember, people. Gameplay and game sense always go much further than personal skill. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope to see you both on stream and in game. Renzer out.